Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream, cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11? We are back.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the muggins. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
I don't even know where that's from.
It's cash rules everything around me. It's
Who's that?
Muffin Man from Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, okay. See,
Another one.
Nope.
This looks like a job for Muggins, so everybody just follow Muggins because we need a little controversial Suggins because it feels so empty without cream. I mean, I had to put controversial Suggins in there to get the punch, but you can do it with practically everything.
Well, no, you can't.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cream.
We're back after last week's Mondays. What day is it today?
It's Wednesday, but we're putting this out on Thursdays, so what is time?
Oh, yeah. We are down in London. Last night we had a fucking ridiculous night.
We got on it.
We did. I'm on at the Soho Theatre, and Nick Cody is also on there. And we had the lovely Elliot Steele and Tom Houghton come join us.
And then me and Natalie went to watch Matilda.
Yeah, you did.
Man, I was watching Matilda. Right, there's a bit
the theatre play written by Tim Minchin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he did the music. Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense because Tom Houghton said to us, "Oh, the next one that Tim Minchin's doing is what is it? It's really good." Tim Minchin's doing a good thing, but he said that, and I don't know where. I thought he just said it out of the blue, but he clearly said it because Tim Minchin wrote Matilda.
Yeah,
but there was a bit when I was watching Matilda where the cup was on the apparatus, like the PA apparatus, and the cup's there, and she's trying to move it with her mind, and she couldn't do it, and she's like really trying. And then I thought, I'm going to give her a hand. And I started doing it, and then it worked. I was like, you see that, Natalie? I just fucking helped her. The cup flew off the apparatus the minute I started helping her. She was struggling for ages.
And then you thought, you are like a child in those things. Like, did at any point were you just so tempted to shout, "It's behind you," because you're 7 years fucking old?
No, it was like, when you pretend to be a Jedi when you open the automatic doors, and they're going to open anyway. It was just like one of them, wasn't it? One of them. However, I can't prove that I didn't do it.
Yeah, but I was fired from Panto.
Yeah, I do know this. It was something to do with you went on the Paul O'Grady show.
Yeah, so this is not
It was like, I like your chops. You've got spunk, kid. And they just threw you in at the deep end.
Yeah, it was basically when I was 17 I did the Paul O'Grady show. So fucking clean. Now, that was when I did my most famous joke from when I was young was the shaving joke, and the whole premise of the joke was my dad comes into the room and he starts talking to me about shaving. I think he's talking about sex, and it was just a very well written bit, and it was sort of what I was known for when I was young.
It was all just innuendo. It could apply to both topics.
But when I'm doing the Paul O'Grady show, right, because that's on at fucking primetime television, right? It's on at like 5 in the afternoon. Sorry, it's like Watershed. They're like, you can't say certain things, which I'm fine with, but the things they changed in the joke made it way more fucking offensive, right? So one of the lines in it was like, just my dad saying that, and he's talking about shaving, but I think he's talking about sex. He's like, the first time you do it, there will be a little bit of blood, but don't worry. Best thing to do is just get some tissue paper, just roll it up and stick it on there. And one of the producers was like, we don't think you can say blood. It's just a bit graphic. And I was like, that makes sense. What would you suggest? And they went, just say there may be a bit of general mess. And I'm like, no, that's far.
You just changed it from blood to spunk.
Yeah, or shrapnel, or just like, it just made it sound so fucking gross. But I did the show and it went well, and then the thing you have to remember with my stuff is there's material I do that can get on television, and then there's the other 80% of the material I do. So all my clean stuff goes out on television, which is why for so many years I have people see my stuff on TV, they come out, and then I'm talking about drugs, death, and no God, and whatever. So these guys see this cheeky, chappy, young, fucking, poppy, fat kid, flicky
floppy hair.
And they're like, do you want to do pantomime? And I'm like, no, I've got, I'm not. I was like, no, not really. And they were like, it's at Wimbledon Theatres with Pamela Anderson, Brian Blessed, Paul O'Grady, and David Hasselhoff.
Pamela Anderson, mate. That's my childhood. I had a fucking loaded magazine.
Aye, that's me with Brian Blessed.
I used to sneak your Brian Blessed photographs into the bathroom with.
Just fucking strumming it to Flash Gordon.
So hold on. So you got kicked off for not being able to sing or dance, right?
So I said to them at the start, they were like, I'm like, what's the part? And it was like fucking Buttons or Bubbles, wherever the comedy characters. And I'm like, I cannot sing.
That's a big major role, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the comedy relief. It's the one that talks to the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need you to know I can't sing and I can't dance, right? And I know this because I did acting when I was young, because my mum wanted me at the house, so she sent me to the local theatre. So I did loads of like musicals and stuff, but I was always very good, confident acting. I can't sing for shit. No rhythm, to the point where one of the plays.
Though.
No, like here's how bad it was. I was one of the leads in a fucking theatre play, the Adam Smith Theatre, and they had to rewrite the whole song so it was a rap, because that's how bad I was at singing. They were like, "This is excruciating."
You just had to do something by like Mike Skinner or something, just something like where you talk your way through the lyrics.
Oh, so I'm like, I can't sing or I can't dance, and they're like, "Oh, honestly, don't worry about it. You'll be fine." So I go down. 2 days were just fun. It was just rehearsals. None of the celebs were there, but they were like, "Oh, you can't sing or dance." And I was like, "I know. That's what I said." They were like, "Oh, we just thought you were being modest." And I'm like, "Oh, you clearly don't know me. I don't do modesty." Like, I either go on about how I'm the greatest at something, or I'm like, I'll
stay away from that. Like, fucking.
And you gotta remember, I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm going down from I'm there at the end of November. I'm going to be there till mid January. I've got 1 day off to go home for Christmas, right? The fee was, I don't mind saying it. It was 10 grand for the 2.5 months, right? Which the time you work isn't good, but
bear in mind you're like 17 years old.
It's the most money I've ever heard of in my goddamn life.
Yeah.
And after 2 days, they go, "We'll give you half the money if you leave now."
So you got out of 2 months' work.
Yeah.
With 5 grand at the age of 17.
Because they booked, yeah. And again, same thing with me, with no concept of what money was at that time. Like, oh, I can't believe I get to buy a fucking house. Yeah, go up and just...
That's so funny how much like your career would change. I'm reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy at the minute, and there was a line in that about every decision that you make, the life that you could have lived dying. So the life that you could have lived if you just went, all right, I've got to get a singing coach, I've got to learn how to dance, I'm just going to focus on this. And if you put your focus towards that, maybe you would have stayed with your focus on that, and you would have reached the age of 26 and you'd be like all fucking drama and all theatrical stuff rather than comedy stuff.
Oh, I probably would have still been
in it.
It
was a massive shatter point in your life.
Oh, but maybe I would have just gone down the route of like more musical stuff. Maybe in 20 years' time, had I gone down that route, you would have been fucking going to the theatre to watch some musical that I wrote on the Holocaust or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mind went there.
Right. Yeah, Schindler's List, the West End musical.
If they can do one about fucking Les Miserables, which is about that, why, you know.
Oh, do you know when I went to watch Les Mis?
Wait, isn't that what The Sound of Music is about?
Huh? Sound of Music? I've never seen that one. I don't know. I know it's very famous, but I don't know what it's about at all.
It's got something to do with Jews in the Hills.
Is it not like, frankly, my dear, you're just not worth it? Is that one?
Oh, God.
I'm just misquoting different films now.
Just to irritate all the musical theatre fans, who are clearly our fans as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some Les Mis fans in the mix. For sure.
So I was talking to Cody last night, and obviously, I don't mind musicals. Like, I loved Book of Mormon. I've seen We Will Rock You, but there's just some ones I just go, and I know I'm wrong. I've not seen Les Miserables. I don't know what it's about. I'm just like, it's people singing about their feelings. Yeah,
would it be weird if every time they stop singing, they just go, "Whoa, that was weird," and just start conversing? That was fucking really odd.
I did have 2 things I want to bring up. We just told the story last night, but I just think it's a fucking great one for the podcast, and I know that both people involved listen to it, which is the Elliot Steele Leighton live story.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Elliot Steele, up and coming comic, we've took him under our wing. Young lad. He's 20 years old now?
He's 20 years. We've known him since he was 17. And he's a great comic. For those of you who don't know, he'll be pissed off that we mentioned this, but his dad is Mark Steele, who, if you don't know who Mark Steele is, get out more.
Yeah, just look at any of his articles that he's done about anything. Like, every time you see an independent article, is it the Independent he does writing for?
Or Guardian.
Or the Guardian. You see his articles shared, they're always fucking phenomenal. And he does the Mark Steele's in town, where he'll go to specific towns and he'll do everything about the town that he's in. That's on Radio 4.
So he's a comedian. He's been on the circuit for years, and he's a phenomenal circuit comic. Like, as a comedian in the UK, you don't not know who Mark Steele is. Like, he's just, when you came in, he was still top. Like, he's brilliant. He's so smart. We've seen him live a bunch of times. And his son,
satirist.
yeah, but he's so fucking intelligent and dry. And Steele's just this fucking London white boy. Like, still, not as smart as his dad, because his dad's got age, but like, it's there. But he's just, oh my god, it's so fatty there. So we've taken Steele under our wing, and obviously it's a little group that we've got of us and all our friends where we're just horrible to each other. As you've noticed with the podcast, this is how we are with all of our friends. And there's a gig in Edinburgh called Leighton Live.
Leighton Live's a notorious bear pit. It's like you go on and you know you're ready for a fight. If you go on at Leighton Live and you manage to do your set that you've got planned in your head from beginning to end, you've totally got away with it. You haven't had a Leighton Live experience. Leighton Live, you've got to be malleable. You've got to be ready for someone to shout out something. And sometimes creative.
It's on at 1 in the morning.
It's on at 1 in the morning. People are hammered. They've already watched about 6 shows.
And some of them are just coming because at the Leighton Live, it's a disco fucking thing. Some people come, they come
because it's the licensed party.
Yeah.
They can drink until 5.
It was so famous.
By getting a Leighton Live ticket.
Yeah, it was so famous back in the 80s and 90s during the festival because it was just the drunk bear pit. Like, everyone's done it. I
love hearing them famous stories about Reg D. Hunter and Daniel Kitson sharing a stage.
Of just the insane fucking stuff. Everyone's got a Leighton Live story of a time they ripped and a time they died, right? I've got both. I've done 2 Leighton Live gigs, bombed at one, had a great one at the other one, and tapped out. I don't want.
Oh man, I frequent it. I do it once a week at the Fringe, every Fringe.
Oh, just
fucking crowd surfing and fucking all kinds of shit.
There was the only Leighton Live experience you and I have had together was you were on stage at the last day of the festival 3 years ago, and then the Freddie who runs it. Backstage, she handed me a fucking Nerf gun, and just while you were on stage, shit-faced, I just stood this and just started shooting you.
Fucking thinking this with foam bullets. I was trying to do my gig, I'm getting fucking bitch slapped with foam bullets.
So it's just, you've got license to do anything, but it is a terrifying gig.
I think when you start out, it's like a terrifying prospect. Like once you've like kind of bedded in a little bit, like it's just a fun gig.
Yeah.
And you can.
So it's in the Gilded Balloon, which is a venue in Edinburgh, and upstairs in the Gilded Balloon is one of the artist bars where we always go to called Love, and it's where the comedians can go in and just sort of chill and get shit faced. So I walk through every night just to see who's on the bill, and I go through and I look at the lineup, and Elliot Steele. A young 19 Elliot Steele.
On the big chalkboard outside, so this is a big deal for him because all the names on the chalkboard, everyone can see it, all the foot traffic can see his name.
It's it's not a huge gig for him, but it's going to be terrifying. I remember being that age and fucking terrified of that gig, right? But the thing is, unlike Elliot Steele, when I was 19 and did that gig, I didn't have friends that were cunts like me. So I go to Fred, I'm like, where is he? And Fred says, oh, he's behind he's just backstage, he's nervous, and I go through. And he's just there, he's just pacing about. I'm like, how you doing? He's like, yeah, they're super bit rowdy. And I was like, oh, mate, just remember that no matter what happens, no matter what you do, you are gonna fucking bomb. You are gonna eat so much shit. He's like, mate, what are you doing? I'm like, I want you to. And I ran back through the loft and I got all of our mates. I got you, Milo. I was like, Steele's doing his first Leighton Live.
Yeah, everyone comes through.
Like,
all the comedians come through and stood in the doorway as well. So like you can see that doorway because normally when the lights are on, you can see the first couple of rows and then it's like darkness behind that.
Yeah.
But we were on the doorway, it's just stage right, so you can just see we're all lit up just there, right in front of the stage.
And he's going, what are you doing? I'm like, He goes on stage. Now, he doesn't bomb. He says to this day, he says it was a death. I don't say it was a bad gig.
It was quiet. This is the thing. A bomb and Leighton Live can be them just savaging you.
Yeah, they'll boo and they'll heckle you until you cry, until you leave the stage. They kind of just like acknowledged his existence a little bit. And then after a bit didn't. And struggling. And then goes in, and the way comedy works is once you're nervous, you forget punchlines, and he trips, and then
start rushing it,
and then you realise you've forgotten a bit, but the audience don't realise you've forgotten a bit of the joke, but it's in your head, and then you. And
your instant reaction when no one's laughing is to go faster because you want to fill that silence with something. So you talk faster when really, even though that's the instinctive thing to do, the right thing to do is just make them know that you're still in charge.
Yes,
you're going at your pace.
But this is but that's something I learned when I was 24.
Ah, yeah, you have to learn how to swim in the water.
Yeah, so Steele's out there, and at one point, one of the famous fucking lines of it was just silence for a bit, and he just tries to get the audience back on stage, and he just goes. I think he couldn't think of the link to his sex joke, so he just filled it with any lads in, and we die backstage. Like that is just,
Any lads in?
Any lads in? So he goes off to like half the audience are just sort of politely clapping, and he's just, and we're all there. And second he comes up to it, we just grab him, we hug him, and he's trying to go in a fucking huff. He's like, "Man, that was fucking awful. I fucking bombed." I'm like, but you have to understand, and this is my defense of our actions then. One, it was funny. Two, as I said to him, like, you've had your worst gig ever. Like, that is every comedian's nightmare.
Yeah.
You had a bad gig in front of all of your fucking mates. Every gig from now on's easy. Like, you've lived the worst fucking moment of your career. And here you are.
I put my arm around him and went, "Don't worry, mate, I wiped your name off the chalkboard."
Yeah.
And then Cody was on after him.
So Cody goes on, and they're wearing the same thing. They're both wearing like black shirts. Cody goes on and smashes the gig, and just walks off afterwards and still there. And just Cody just looks at Steele, looks at his shirt, looks at his own shirt, and just goes, "Well, it's not the clothes."
It's so funny, you know, if you bomb on a gig and everyone else bombs, you're like, "Oh, that was a tough gig."
Yeah.
But if you bomb and then someone else crushes, you're like, that was all me."
Were you
were in the room.
Were you there for my fucking spank this year?
Yeah, I feel like I was. No, because I heard about it.
Yeah.
They were WhatsApping as if it was remarkable, like there was something happened in it.
Oh, it was. So again, it was more self-sabotage. So Spank is a late night gig, kind of like Late in Life, but a bit less radio, more inside. It's run by James Loveridge, Duck,
Abigail.
and Abigail Shelman.
Hosts, yeah.
And it's just, I've never done it. It's a late night gig. I just don't like them during the Fringe. I want to go out and get drunk, and I just don't need to sell tickets during the Fringe, and I don't want to go to a gig which is anything less than a fucking
And it's encroaching on your social life.
Yeah. And I'm lazy, but for years and years they've begged me and I love James and Abigail and Duck so fucking much. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But I just get in my own head that I'm going to bomb and that it's going to be tough, and then Stanley's down.
Yeah, you talk yourself out because you're so used to your own audience.
Exactly.
People that already know who you are,
Yeah.
now you're going on as a stranger.
Yeah.
You're on the same playing field as everybody else.
And I've got a bunch of mates down in the fucking room, same thing, the way Steele did. And there's a rule in Spank, if at any point you on stage say the word Spank, the whole audience go,
"We love it."
yeah, Spank, you love it.
You love it.
And I'm on stage and I do my first joke, and it goes down fine, but not what I'm used to. But just because it doesn't go down in my head, I'm like, and I just say Spank, and they go, "You love it," and I'm like, from now on, whenever a joke bombs, I'm just going to say the word Spank, and then just get through this gig, which is the worst thing I could have done, because now I'm telling the audience I'm not enjoying the show. So unprofessional on my part, but
Yeah.
I've been drinking, I'm in my own fucking head, and then someone heckles, we have a little bit of a thing, and it goes well, and then I go back to my material. But anytime I'm doing jokes about like the gig or people in the audience, it's getting laughs. And
Yeah.
then when I realise what I've done and I start making fun of myself, it's getting big laughs. But then I go, right, I'll try another joke, and then the joke bombs, and then they laugh because I just say Spank a lot. So the whole thing is, even I'm begin to enjoy it in the way of like I can hear the comedians laughing at the back of the room, and
So they're purposefully letting your jokes bomb so that
no,
you
they're
can
not.
do
It's just
no.
like I'm delivering them at like 60%.
Yeah.
Like I'm going, but then I throw a little fake tantrum afterwards. But at one point, it's just good. And I can hear James Loveridge, and he's sat in the front row because he's wanted me to do it for so long, and he's just laughing at how angry I'm getting, upset I'm getting. He's loving it. The comics are fucking loving it.
Yeah, it's a live moment.
Yeah. And at one point, I just go, "How long have I got left?" And he goes, "Oh, you can come off stage now." And I'm like, Nah, I'm not leaving to anything less than a big laugh. And I do my best joke. It gets a little bit of a laugh, and I'm like, "Not good enough. Not good enough." And I just went, God, and I just laid down on stage for 2 minutes and just listed off my CV. I just laid down on the floor, and I was like, "I've been on Conan 6 times. I was the youngest person ever to play the Soho there, do a solo run there. I've got a house.
McIntyre's
Roadshow, Jason Manford's Comedy Rocks. I sell 11,000 tickets every year at the Edinburgh Festival.
Paul O'Grady.
Paul O'Grady. Fired from Panto.
The Adventures of Daniel. The Adventures of Daniel, which is a pilot that Daniel done years ago when you started. Oh man, if anyone can dig into the archives and find that,
got it.
please link me in.
Have you not seen it?
I've seen it. I saw it when it came out.
It's not.
I was all right. Like I remember being complimented. We hadn't even done my first tour yet at the point when you'd done this. And I remember texting you going, "Fucking represented well." I thought it was all right, but I can't imagine it's aged well.
No, it probably hasn't. But what is very interesting for any fans in there, Jenny Halls, who played my girlfriend in that show, is now a regular on River City, and Kev, who played my best friend in the show, was in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
And Ed Byrne, who played God, is Ed Byrne.
Yeah, Ed Byrne, who played all the fantasies in my head. Yeah, God. Maybe just what I've always wanted to do, like once we get to a stage with this podcast, and please, listeners, give us feedback on this so we know whether it's worth doing. One thing I've always wanted to do is for bonus episodes is I think it would be very funny if you and I did a running drunken commentary, like a drinking Harry Potter game, where you and I watch it and drink. So what it means is the audience can sit at home, watch the movie,
play the podcast at the same time,
turn the volume down on your TV, and just listen to us doing a running commentary while we get drunk. Because Pete Holmes did that a while ago, and there's what's the name of the stoner American comic?
Doug Stanhope? Doug. It is Doug something. The one that done Super High Me. Yeah.
He does running commentary films all the time, and it is a very funny thing. So we could do that. But one that might be good is if you and I get absolutely fucking stoned out of our noggins
and do the Harry Potter.
No, dig up the Adventures of Daniel.
That would be fucking funny.
But I think I think the best way to do that one there would be we would have to get like Nick Cody and Andrew Stanley and Mark Nelson.
Mark Nelson would be a great show for that one.
The comedians that I know would crucify it to the next level.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing to do.
Hey, on your DVD, we did that.
We did?
On your DVD, me, you and Mark Nelson done a running commentary.
And Ali, my best friend Ali.
Ah, yeah, fuck yeah. So there's four of us just on the couch with the camera set up, watching the DVD and talking about your jokes and talking about shit. That was essentially the first ever podcast we've done.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Oh, right, I have one thing I want to get...
I wanted to say, while we're on the topic of Spank, this is a good story. You went there, I don't think, but you know the naked promo?
Yeah.
Right? So they do a naked promo at Spank, if you don't know. On this gig, after the interval, they'll do a naked promo where anyone from the audience can get up and promote their show at the Fringe Festival, but they can only do it if they're naked. So they get a minute on stage, and it's usually like drama students and like young people that are bringing a show up for the first time. They'll get up, they've got a captive audience of 250 people, and they get to plug their show.
Yeah.
If no one from the audience
I got naked at Spank.
Did it?
Yeah, because everyone kept... Sorry, I completely... repress that because everyone kept shouting "Get naked, get your cock out." Now, as we know, got a big old dick, hard to cover.
You did this while you are doing
on stage,
so everyone just like fuck your accolades, get your cock out.
Yeah. So after I've done the thing of lying on the floor and I refuse to leave for a big laugh, I just go fuck it, and I just start taking my fucking clothes off. I got fully tied of the thing, turned around, put my sock over my dick. Yeah. To make it smell better.
Because it's a foot.
Yeah. It's only 8 inches, but it smells like a foot.
You know what? Someone tweeted the other day about, I'm sure this podcast is just to promote Daniel's cock. Yeah. In every single fucking episode, there's been a product placement of your cock.
Yeah, but you started it. I never bring up how big my... Like, that's probably the only time I've ever brought it up. You're the one that's fascinated. Nah. You're like one of those... You want to be one of those snake charmers with a dick. Just playing a little flute.
Put it back in a basket.
So yeah, naked promo when you were doing it.
So the naked promo was on, and sometimes James Loveridge will just do promote a show that he wants, and he'll get naked as he's hosting because no one in the audience wants to get up. But there's always someone, whether it be James or an audience member, getting naked. And I was on after the naked promo, and I've done it before, and it's always a bit weird because you're going on after someone's just had their cock out or some tits have been on stage, and I went on and I just went, you know what? I always find it weird coming on after the naked promo because you've just seen a guy's dick, and now I've got to tell stories about my dad or whatever. I never know how to start when I do this, but I just went, fuck it. I just pulled down my jeans, I pulled down my boxers, and just when we cock out, with just like my t-shirt on like a fucking toddler having a piss. Just done my gig, did the gig.
Lifted up your shirt so you don't get pee on it.
I didn't even reference it after that. I just carried on.
Not much to reference.
Nah. I just fucking done my set as if my cock wasn't out. And there was only one point where I referenced it where there was 3 lads in the front row, and I just went, lads, I'm up here. I'm not a piece of meat. Pointed at my face.
Right, let's go to our first game. Before we do that, let's get some more wine. Just so you know what the type of reprobates me and Kai are, it is Wednesday at about 3:30 in the afternoon, and Natalie, his girlfriend, has left the house, and we're just drinking all of her wine.
She's at work. And,
I've got a show tonight.
She's got wine in the fridge.
She does.
I'm doing a podcast tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did this morning.
Chris Martin.
Fucking Judas.
Yeah.
Traitorous cunt. Right, let's get a bottle of wine. Back in 2 seconds. Bye. All right, we're back. So we're going to play a first game. Always the fan favourite of Muggle Corner. For first-time listeners, Muggle is obviously a term from the Harry Potter world to describe non-magic people. and it's a term that a lot
in
of
the
us
real
use.
world to describe non-magic people.
Yeah, non-magic people. Yeah, people that just.
It's what's funny is there's been a couple of accounts of people saying when they first heard it, they thought it was like a bit harsh, and they're like Ricketts both said, and Nick. I don't know if it was Cody said off. He was talking about Luch said it, his missus, but they're saying like it's a bit fucking harsh going in hard on them. But we're going literally, we'll get everybody.
Yeah,
we get ourselves, we get our parents, we get everybody. So if we're going hard, if this is the first time you're hearing it and you're like, oh fuck, I'd do that. Like, just bear in mind we do six.
We do
12 a week.
Yeah.
And 6 an episode.
We will catch it. It's just little things that you do that are just a bit stupid and just shit, and we're all guilty of it. Like last week.
And if you do get offended by anything we say, you fucking muggle. You fucking muggle getting offended because, oh, that's me, I do that. And people are, people are thinking that I'm a muggle. And,
I've got an example.
Shut up.
I've got an example to give that isn't one of my ones, but it happened on this morning on the train, on the tube. I was fucking livid. I'm sat on the fucking tube, the London Underground. Now, as you said before, I should love London because it's people like me. Keep your head down, don't talk to fucking anyone, go through your life. On the fucking tube this morning, right, 2 fucking cunts, one with a little fucking handheld keyboard and one with a saxophone, come on and just start playing Christmas music.
Oh, they're trying to make something happen.
Trying to make something happen.
They would have had another friend with a hidden camera as well.
Oh,
in case
absolutely.
It all kicked off.
Totally. Like, being like, oh, isn't it funny bringing a Christmas cheer to the London Underground? I can totally tell it's going to be a viral video, and you're going to look in the back, and it's going to be me flipping them the bar. Hold on. There's a baby.
Did it catch on?
Well, some muggles enjoy that shit. Like, they were like, oh, sorry. I was sad beside a woman who had a sleeping baby, and they're just blowing this fucking shit in with shitty jazz versions of things. I'm like, you're forcing me to listen to this fucking shit. If you were good, you wouldn't be on a train. Like at no point in my fucking career have I ever gotten the fucking 740 to fucking Waterloo and been like, oh, my dad thing, the dad did the dad thing the other day. Fucking, if you're not good enough to
and then I actually got off the bus.
Yeah. But muggles are the sort of thing that enjoy it. Like, oh, it's just a bit of Christmas cheer.
Yeah, dude, I love the idea of that not catching on, of them trying to do it and it just not catching fire. Because there was when I opened for Steve-O on the last few days.
Oh, rub it in my face.
A couple of I fucking left you, Muggins and O, on the road. There was someone trying to start a chant of Steve-O, but it was like unnecessary. Yeah. Like, imagine you're doing a gig and people enjoying it because he's just doing comedy, right? He's got a couple of stunts in there. He's doing stand-up, and then everyone's just like, Daniel. It would be annoying, right? Yeah. Would you be annoyed by it?
Oh, during the show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like during a bit.
Beforehand, during the show, yeah. Before the thing, it would be kind of cool.
So he's trying to do a bit, and people are laughing, but then someone enjoys the bit to the point that they start going, Steve-O. And about 6 people caught on, and I was like, oh, don't let it catch fire.
Yeah.
Don't let it catch it. And then it was just listening to the last few that the guy did when he realised it wasn't working. And he's like, Steve-O.
Steve-O. No one? Okay. So every week we come up with 3 muggle things that we think are muggly. We talk about whether they're muggly or not. If we both agree, they go into Muggle Corner, which means if you're guilty of these things, you have to stand in the corner for 30 seconds. Doesn't mean you're a full-blown muggle, just means everyone's got muggle tendencies. I was in the corner for 2 minutes last week. Yeah, like, I was guilty of 4 things.
You just got to think about what you've done.
Right. My first one. Muggles go on about how much they like cheese. Now, it's not muggly to like cheese. I'm not saying cheese is muggly. But if you go on about how much you like cheese...
You think you're purposefully making it your thing?
Yeah.
Over the actual enjoyment you're getting about it. You're projecting yourself as a cheese lover.
Yeah, like, it's just like, if you could picture yourself... I picture myself... I'm an arrogant motherfucker. I picture myself as a legend, as one of the best of all this stuff. Like, if you're thinking you're pitching about yourself as, oh, I love a good Gouda. I just tell you what, a couple of friends there the other night, some Vito, brought him a little cheese board, but I did get the Sainsbury's one because sometimes they put camembert in there. I don't know people like camembert, but the thing about camembert with the Tesco ones is it's not. You really have to get it from the area. A lot of people don't know camembert is an area, and it's very specific to the thing. So what I do is I do my own little pick and mix, and you can get the little fancy ones at Christmas, which are sometimes toffee pudding. Sounds disgusting, but with a lovely little fucking Ritz cracker. Oh, muggle.
This is a week after we had a cheese board with the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. However, I'm trying to make a sandwich with it. So.
Man, I'm totally guilty of this as well when it comes to a fucking charcuterie board. Like, I remember as a kid, my definition of an old person, right, was if you talk about a meal you had over a week ago, that's a sign of age. You'd be like, oh, I had a bloody lovely steak last week. And I'm guilty of it. Like with this, I've made it specifically cheese so it doesn't fucking affect me because I'm a dick. But there's plenty of things that you could bring up.
If you're referring to food as tender a week after you ate it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can do it while you're eating it.
I mean, you could probably go on about, like, you could probably say, this would work, like, Muggles going about how much they'd enjoyed a shit 3 weeks ago. I'm guilty of that. I had a fucking cracking shit last night.
Really?
But, you know what, it comes out, like, it's...
Been on the beer?
No,
It's a good one still.
Oh, it was
suppose you
really
don't drink
good.
beer days.
It was like a full, like, it was like a proper, like, unit. Like, but it was just, none of it was a struggle, none of it was a thing. There was no, like, you know, sometimes with like a big poo that you got, I always call them hobbit shits. I always hate hobbit shits. And I just mean in the sense that, like, those ones where it should have just come out as one, but it comes out in 3 parts.
Yeah.
Like, you go for the shit and then you think you're done, and then you go away, and then 20 minutes later you're like, oh, I need another shit. It's like the Hobbit movies. You're like, you should have just done it as one, you've broken down it 3 things and made it a lot worse.
I bled out my ass the other day and there was shit in it. Do you think that's a problem? I think I should go see a doctor. There's some shit in my blood.
That's my favourite line that you've never used on stage, which is just, when you guys shit, how do you stem the bleeding? Like,
so, you know, something I wanted to mention about the cheese as well is I didn't realise, like, cheese is... Like, is it important as a grocery? Is it like in with milk and bread?
no, I don't think so.
Right, because the reason I ask this is because I've always seen it as something that if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. But it's not a staple,
Yeah.
right? But I went to Rouge's house when his dad went on holiday when he was about 15, right? And he had a letter, and the letter was above like a £20 note, and he was like, he has a bit of money in case he run out of milk and cheese. And I'm like, he could have just said milk, like he's not going to be like 3 days in going, oh fuck, we're out of cheese.
Where's my cheddar?
Because with milk, you put it in your cereal, you fucking put it in your tea, in your coffee.
Instead of cheese, you put it in your cereal, you put it in your tea.
Cheese. You can. That's not necessarily like. I think it's bread and milk.
Yeah.
And cereal would be before cheese.
Yeah. Toilet paper.
Aye.
But then again, in blood, did you wipe your ass with cheese when you ran out of toilet paper?
Before, just for your entertainment, I had we're at Natalie's house. I had a shower in the fucking room that got infiltrated by that stranger in episode 4. So I had a shower in his room, and then I saw there wasn't a towel in the bathroom. So I popped my head around the door and went, Dad, you know, there's no towels in the bathroom. Can you pass us a newspaper?
And I just came out and shoot like a dog. So yeah, for me, like, it's totally not. No, I've not always been a big fucking fan. I used to hate cheese when I was a kid. I used to scrape cheese off the top of pizzas. All I wanted was tomato. Yeah,
Fucking weirdo.
Oh, it was totally weird. Totally weird. I used to
It's like
get
melted cheese is the fucking tip.
I know.
It's like bad for you, so you try to avoid it. But like,
No, my thing was like, honestly, whole childhoods, like my whole child, I'd scrape off lasagna. I love lasagna.
so you just wanted tomato ketchup on bread.
Yeah, but I wanted the meat as well. I just didn't like the cheese. But it was just because I got in my head that I didn't like cheese.
Oh, so like because even though it was completely different to the cheese you would have in a sandwich, like
you
having
know
a
how
pizza.
stubborn I am. Stupidly stubborn to points. Like, I'd rather be right in my own head than right in the real world.
Yeah, you get heckled by a 70-year-old in Kilmarnock, and you won't go back and gig in Kilmarnock until you can guarantee that guy's dead.
No, until I get a letter from Kilmarnock Council guaranteeing me that he is dead and that I can open the show with me dancing on his grave.
So you reckon, like, when he's technically 100, you're just going to assume he's dead and you're going to do the...
I need all of Kilmarnock to apologise. Because they let it happen. Like, there were other people in that crowd who allowed that old man to heckle a fucking 17-year-old child doing his first ever hour on stage because he didn't like the fact that I said cunt. That was it. And he just heckled. And it wasn't helpful. It was just... And the staff...
It's weird that someone can get offended by the word cunt, but then be a cunt.
Yeah,
You're
it's like, how
what
have
you
you
did
never
was a
heard this?
word, what he did is an action.
Yeah.
He's doing the actions of a cunt. You just said it.
It's one of the things that, like,
It's like I'm saying you're like, oh, you're not allowed to say rape and then rape someone.
Yeah,
You're
like,
it's okay
it's worse.
saying it. It's worse to do it, dickhead. I mean, it's not like that. By the way, none of these opinions are mine. However,
they are those of the BBC then.
yes, the BBC or you an apology, quick smart.
Is like, for me, with the swearing and stuff, which is, I've always wanted to put an age limit on my shows for over 65s. I wanted to, generally, for so long I've wanted to do a rule which is like, if you're over the age of 65, you're not allowed in my show unless you say the word cunt knuckle at the door.
Yeah,
Because
that's a cool disclaimer, because I've found at the Punch Drunk gigs there's tons of cool old dudes like...
Yeah, oh, there's totally, like, I did a gig at a fucking across the road from a funeral home in a fucking bowling club, and I was like 19, and I just walked out, and it was just over 65s, and I had a fucking belter gig. I did filthy, and I was totally wrong. I had it in my head, and afterwards, and I'm not shitting you, bitch was 92 if she was a day. She came over to me and like the woman that hit me with a walking stick, she was like that, but she had the whole Zimmer frame. So I thought, I was like, oh, she's gonna hit me with the Zimmer frame, I might die here. She comes over and she goes, you know you don't say shit enough. And I'm like, legend.
Yeah. I love that she's just going to gigs near funerals.
Just nearby, just in case. So I understand that prejudice in my head is prejudice, but every time I've had a bad heckler that gets offended by something stupid, it's always an old person.
It's weird, like cantankerous old people. It's like, do you think there's just do you think these are the old guys that have just failed? You know, because there's no natural selection no more. You can survive. You can get an old age and you just go, I've been shit. I've been a shit person, and it just manifests and you just become cunty.
But it's the idea of like when people go, it's dirty language, you can't say. So don't say it during the watershed because, don't say it in front of kids. You can teach your kids not to swear, but this idea that kids love swearing. Like, people go, don't swear in front of my kids. I'm like, why? Because they'll laugh. I've got brothers that are 10 and 12 years younger than I am. When they were 7, saying the word cunt in front of them was the funniest thing. Kids are not offended. For me, I've always, because I saw comedy from such a young age, I went to see it live with my dad and stuff. Yeah. And they were like, you can't come in. There was one time during the Fringe, one of my favourite memories of my dad. I was about 13 years old, and he took me to the Fringe one night, and we went to see this like late night show. Here, this was the lineup, all pre-famous. Mike Wilmot, Darryl O'Brien, John Bishop, Reg D. Hunter, and Adam Bloom. Right, all doing 15s. Right, this is like 2003, so none of them are the names they are now. And before I go in, second 11 gig, the guy at the door's like to my dad, "How old's your son?" And he goes, 13. And he goes, "I can't allow him to come in." But I was like, "He's not drinking." He's like, "Yeah, but there's the age limits on the thing." He goes, "Yeah, but I don't. That doesn't matter." He goes, "What? It's my decision. He's my son." The guy goes, "There's going to be a lot of swearing and rude language." And my dad just turned to me and went, "Shit, bugger, fuck, cunt, bastard. He's heard them all. Can he come in now?"
Yeah.
And the bouncer just went, "Yeah, all right, yeah."
What are swear words? We're just like, I understand you don't want your kid to say fuck, but you don't want your kid to say sex either if he means sex. You know? Like, you don't want your kid to, like, it's the context that should count, not the swear word.
Yeah.
Like, if he's saying shit, he's just saying poo. I've had a shit. Yeah. He's had a poo. He's communicating himself in a way that he's letting you know what's happened.
And the reason swear words have power is because people like this still react to them.
And shit, and then the kid's like, "Oh fuck! If I say shit, then it's gonna mean something. It's gonna provoke a reaction."
I've sworn from a very young age, and again, another great thing. My parents absolutely loved to pieces because the way they raised me was just so fascinating. I remember, like, when I think I was 10, and I said "fuck" in front of my mum, and she went, "You can't say that." And I went, "Why not?" And she just went, "I don't know." And my dad just went, "You can't tell him not to do something unless you can justify why." And she was like,
"Because the teachers will be mad, but why?"
No.
I don't know.
But that's what she said. She went, "All right, well, you just don't do it in front of your gran because it'll upset her, and don't do it at school because I don't want to have to come in." And those were two valid reasons. I went, "All right, that's
not swearing in front of them people." And as well, kids swearing is funny. It makes me laugh. Dude, have you seen the video of that 6-year-old with "Fuck your Mitsubishi, there's a horse outside"? It's the Rubber Bandits song. Yeah. "Fuck your Subaru, I got a horse outside." But there's this 6-year-old, cute as a fucking button, just going, "Fuck your Subaru, I got a horse outside." It's fucking hilarious.
My little brother.
What's the one you thought was, though?
I thought it was the little kid saying "fuck off, monkey." Have you not seen the safari park?
Look that up.
Oh, right. People will understand it. He's in the safari park. A monkey jumps on the car. He goes, "Oh no, monkey on the car!" And his dad goes, "Oh, what do we say to the monkey?" And the 2-year-old just goes, "Fuck off, monkey!" Hysterical.
Yes.
Matthew, my younger brother, the older one.
Yeah, eldest younger brother.
Yeah, he was a huge fan of Thomas the Tank Engine when we were kids, like when we were 2 years old. Loved it. My gran nearly had a fucking heart attack. Because she went, "Who's your favourite song, Mr. Tank Engine?" And he went, "The fat cunt, the fat cunt, the fat cunt roller." And I was gone. But I got in trouble for laughing at it.
Yeah.
Because
you made that what it was.
Because when he heard me laughing, he started saying it like that. It's the same thing. I had a friend, Kyle, around when Matthew was 2, and we were babysitting. And my mum doesn't know this story. This is awful. This is a terrible story, but fuck it anyway. Matthew's 2 years old. My friend Kyle, and we're just playing with Matthew, and he's loving it. We're wrestling him and stuff. And He's getting used to words. And Kyle, I swear to God, I leave the room for 30 seconds. I come back in, and he's just taught Matthew to say, Matthew wank himself. So I walk in, and my 2-year-old go, Matthew wank himself. And I laugh. And that's all it needs. And then we had to spend 2 hours conditioning him by saying, Matthew brushes teeth, and laughing hysterically at Matthew brushes teeth.
Yeah.
Just so he would say that instead. So Mum and Dad come home, right, and he goes, Mummy, Daddy, guess what? Matthew brushes teeth. And my parents go, oh, he's doing a good job of babysitting.
Good boy. Yeah. He's wondering why Mum and Dad aren't laughing.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's like,
I was fucking killing earlier with the brushing teeth.
Mum and Dad are a tough crowd. Anyway,
I'll try my old stuff. Matthew wanking.
Yeah. Back to cheese. Do you agree? Like, just the going on about how much you like about cheese is the thing we constantly gripe about is when you try and make a defining part of your personality just something just a bit shit. You're trying to be unique.
Yeah, because I like
also, loving cheese is not unique.
I like cheese. It's not my identity.
The most controversial statement on the podcast.
It's not my identity.
No.
I'm not about the cheese.
All about the cheese.
But I'll eat it.
Cheese.
I'll get it down. Sometimes I'll buy it.
No.
Sometimes I'll just eat other people's. I fucking ate so much of other people's cheese. I swear to God, it's such a sociable food that people give you. I've definitely ate more cheese that belongs to other people than your own cheese.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
I've paid for 30% of the cheese I've eaten.
Less, I reckon. I reckon less than 10.
You fucking thief.
Less than 10%.
Yeah.
Unless it's like an ingredient in something, like I buy a pizza.
Macaroni and cheese.
But you know, if I'm talking like the ingredient, the product.
Yep. Also, Nick, Cody, and his girlfriend Luch are listening to this. I know last night you said that sometimes I specify things in Muggle Corner specifically for you guys. I can assure you, wink, wink, that this is not aimed at you.
Natalie got really excited that her and Cody's Luch are both Scorpios. So they both need to stand in the corner, even though Luch had nothing to do with that apart from being a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Get in the corner, Luch. Get in the corner, Natalie.
Yeah, you both. No, but Luch does believe in star signs.
Yeah, we have more reason to spend time in the corner.
All right, looking at the stars, you muggle.
So
I love you, Luch.
I've got a Muggle corner right here. People on Facebook that script their conversations that happened in their life, right? So you know, if you script it like me, train conductor, with a colon, as if it's a script, right? It's got to be fucking brilliant.
For future reference,
right.
All train conductors have colons. I've checked.
All of them.
Yeah.
You got your ticket.
You got your ticket. I'm going to punch a hole now.
Oh, man. So, yeah, if you're scripting a conversation, if you're going to take that format, it better be good. I didn't want to just see a conversation that you had that was fucking mundane.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot. I see comedians do it. I see...
Well, because sometimes comedians use Facebook to put out, like, it's
material
for a joke.
I said that to train...
But I also don't believe you that in the writing of it, you didn't paint yourself as the hero. Like, because I'm aware that the way I tell stories, I'm always the hero. In fact, I would say that you're probably, me and Cody were talking about this at one night, the reason you're so funny, it was me and Tom were saying, it was about you and Barry Casanola, who's another excellent fucking comedian, is you've got no desire to be the hero in the stories you tell. Like, the way you talk about your childhood and stuff, like, none of it's you're the hero. You don't mind. If everyone's laughing, you don't care if you're the butt of the joke because you're just happy that everyone's laughing. I can't get that narcissism out of my head.
Well, I like telling stories where I should be the victim, but I don't feel like the victim, so it's fine. So, no, I don't want anyone's pity when I'm telling a sub-story.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's always like, this is something funny. Like, as if I'm telling a story about it happening to someone else, but it happened to me. And then you're the victim that way.
Oh, just on that note, could I tell the kite story just quickly? I know we've done it on stage, but
Which one, the kite?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went to Norfolk with me, Grandad Harry.
This is just one of the best stories. If you've seen me and Kai do our double act, you've heard this story, but you won't mind it again. But this is just Kai told me this story in the car when we were driving home from a gig in Cardiff, and I had to pull over the car because I was laughing so hard. I'll do the short version of it.
So hold on, I'll just fill in. I've got two granddads. One who's passed away, who was me I wouldn't swear in front of that granddad. You know, he taught us how to play chess. He always wore a shirt and tie and everything. He was a respectable ex-RAF dude, right? And so that granddad on my mum's side, who takes his t-shirt off to eat his Sunday dinner so he can get gravy and fucking mash down his top, right? And then he goes in the shower after his fucking dinner. Right?
What a fucking legend!
I have got like a fucking devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other in my childhood with my grandparents.
And the devil because he's there, and the angel because your granddad's dead.
Yeah. Exactly that fucking. You'd be laughing at this fucking podcast from the ether.
So you were your granddad, the one that's still alive. That one, takes you and Gav, your brother.
He takes me and Gav on holiday, on a caravan holiday with him and his wife, who's younger than me mum.
Yeah.
Right? Who I call Auntie because she's younger than me mum.
Yeah, and it just
I grew up like where my granddad's fucking me auntie.
And obviously fine with this, totally normal.
Just totally normal, my granddad, my auntie.
Hooking up on the daily.
They're married, like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not incest, they're married.
It's not incest, they're from Blythe.
Yeah. And so at one point, how old were you at this point?
Young.
Yeah.
Single figures.
Right, so we'll say about 8 years old.
Yep.
So Kai's granddad and his auntie go into the bedroom of the caravan and go, Kai, you stay here and watch TV. And the caravan starts rocking once they're in this bedroom. And Kai, being young and naive, obviously doesn't know what this is, but he's freaking out because the caravan's shaking. And he just goes, Granddad, someone's shaking the caravan. And his granddad throws it past and just shouts out, it's just the wind. And the 7-year-old Kai just goes, oh, great, I'll get me kite.
I went outside with me kite and I couldn't get it to take off. I'm looking at the caravan, the wind rocking it.
Yeah, it would be while your kite is like a fucking dead dog in a lead. But that's my example. Like the way you told that story to me was so funny because it wasn't traumatizing or sad. It was just the honesty and the innocence of it back then, and now the fact that you are able to laugh at it is what makes
it's such a thing as I didn't find out what was happening to me at the caravan rock there until I was like, yeah, just like at the age of 20 or something, and I'm just remembering that moment, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It just shines a completely different light on it.
I remember same thing. You're going on about remembering stuff in the past. Sorry to keep. I'm not. To go off subject. I remember. And Mum and Dad, I'm so sorry, you probably don't remember this, but I do because I only worked out what happened a couple of years ago. I remember being like 9 years old, right, walking into my mum and dad's room, like on Saturday morning. It's probably about 6 or 7. Saturday morning when Josie was still alive, my sister, every Saturday morning I loved because I'd go into bed with my mum and dad, Josie would be there, we would just lying there, and then we'd all go down to McDonald's and get McDonald's pancake breakfast. I loved it. It was every Saturday, one of the highlights of my childhood. I remember every Saturday was fucking tradition. I remember one Saturday morning, and Josie's still asleep, so I'm just early. I walk in, and there's a condom, and I know now that it's a condom beside the bed. I used one there, but I'm 9, about 6 or 7.
Sorry, I must have missed a step in the story because in my head you're still in McDonald's and just...
No, sorry. I was just saying that I love Saturday mornings. That was the tradition.
Oh, okay.
So this particular Saturday morning, before we go to McDonald's, I wake up, Josie's still in bed, so I'm just the first one into the bedroom because kids have no concept of privacy.
Yeah.
The door's shut. I'm like, yay! I walk in, and there's a used condom on the bedside table, and I go, what's that? And my mum, quick as a fucking bird, just goes, oh, it's just a balloon, right? And I go, oh, Dad, will you blow it up for me? And my mum starts giggling, and my dad's like,
go on, Martin.
Your mum's egging him up.
Throws him under the bus.
Oh yeah. Can you make a giraffe out of that one, Martin?
It's a water bomb. Fill it up. Make a lava lamp.
But yeah, so just get back to the Muggle thing. Pitching these stories it's.
If you said it as a script,
Yeah.
Because I think even if you saw the funniest sitcom in script form, it probably wouldn't make you laugh out loud, right?
Yeah,
because it's in script form.
Yeah.
You're taking a lot of the fucking beauty of the story away from it by setting it up as he said, she said. So if you're putting something that you could just have as like a nice little story, and you're putting it in, I said this, you said that, and I read that and it's just mundane and it's just something that happened in your day.
You wasted my time.
I've just read a little bit. I feel like I've pitched something shit to us.
Yeah. You've also just at one point, it's like...
I feel like I've just read a draft that should never have made it to fucking print.
It's kind of like you just, during the day when I was at dinner with friends, you FaceTimed me just to, and not to talk to me, but just to show me what you were doing, talking to the woman at the Greg's counter.
Just go, oh, look, there's me table and chairs. No, FaceTime is for... So anyway, it's like I think if you're going to pitch something as a script on Facebook, it's fucking bang it out the park, even if you have to lie. You know,
I totally agree.
It's got to be hilarious. Otherwise, I'm just fucking reading like the minutes of your day.
yeah. With what's the word?
Cartographer. No, that draws maps.
Yeah. What's the something-tographer?
And it's got when you're in court and they've got like the 4 keys that they can type with the 4 keys.
Yeah.
How do you learn them? Do them 4 keys do every letter?
I don't think it's just
so
4.
every combination.
Oh, yes, I think it's like.
Is it like 4 or 5 keys? It is, isn't it? Because
so,
it just looks like they're fucking playing with a tape recorder. You know, it's got like the play, pause, eject,
just
record.
decks.
They're just funny on just recording it, but being a dick and keep pausing it.
So yeah, totally agree. If you post stuff that's happened in you like to talk about your day, but if you script your day and pictures that, that's a quite a muggly thing to do. I've totally done it, but yeah, Muggle Corner. We're gonna have to speed up. I didn't realise how fucking.
Right, let's fly.
This one is from Aaron McCann on Twitter, but Aaron McCann is not normal. Aaron McCann, I don't know if you've met Aaron.
Yeah. I met him way before you did.
Northern Irish comic, very young.
He put us up on his couch, right? So he's like, "Oh, I'll put you up on my couch. I see you gigging in Belfast." This is what's fucking great with stand-up. There's always somewhere for you to crash. You've got a fraternity. I never met the boy. He realised that I would need a place to stay offered me his couch. But the couch he put us on was student accommodation. So he had like other students in the flat. And I'm just in that common room. Just fucking sleeping where they play FIFA.
Just having a wank. What? You're looking, watching like college porn, being like, it could be you. Yeah. Sorry, McCann.
It was as well because I'm much older than him as well. I was like 10 years older than him. I was just the fucking. There's a man in the living room. Well, thanks for your couch, Aaron. I know you listen to the podcast. You're a fucking dude. Thank you.
Aaron, great comic. He supported me on tour. Genuinely fucking funny comic. But he gets mugged off on like. Now, here's one that he said. I'm going to pitch it and then I'll explain the backstory. Muggles comment on friendship statuses on Facebook things like, "Is this the girl you were talking about?" And where this comes from is I do it with both Adam Rowe and I do it with Aaron McCann, which is, I don't know what settings they've got on their Facebook, but whenever they become friends with someone...
I never see it come up for anyone else.
It's only Adam Rowe and it's only Aaron McCann. And it comes out and goes, Aaron McCann is now friends with. Now, whenever it is a girl that they become friends with, me and a bunch of Northern Irish comics being like, "Aaron, is this girl you're on about? Is this girl you text me about? Oh, I'm so glad, mate. Oh, Jesus, finally you can stop fucking harping on about her." Because Aaron's he's doing what you do with Facebook. He's accepting all friend requests, sort of thing, making that his fucking page. So it's coming through all the time.
So it might be a girl that he's never met, or that's seen him in a gig.
Never met, and just we are pitch, and that all they get is all of his close friends being like, "Oh, is this the one you want to propose to? Have you got the ring yet?"
Oh, I've had a good idea. We could like get a picture of the girl from one of our, not a profile photo, but like a photo like deep down in that thing, right? Change my name in your phone to Aaron McCann. I'll text you the picture going, "Oh, this girl that I'm hooking up with," right? So that when you screen cap it and put it on his post, the girl will see the post where it looks like you've been chatting to Aaron about the girl.
Oh, Aaron, I bet you're devastated that you brought this up.
Yeah, and when you said muggles do that, I think the word you were looking for is legends.
Yeah, so it's not in Muggle Corner. You're absolutely not correct. Legends do this. I did one with Adam Rowe, but I couldn't post the photo, but it would have ended Adam Rowe's life. Adam Rowe, great Liverpudlian comic. We did the same thing. We became friends with this fucking girl, and everyone was going on it. Now, there's an app that you can have which you can create fake WhatsApp conversations. So I go in, I take Adam's picture on his WhatsApp conversation, I put it in, you can put the times in, and I did exactly that fucking thing of, it's me going, "Oh, congrats on being friends with the girl." I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait." And I'm like, "Great, buddy, just play it cool." And then his replying being like, "Oh, I don't know if I can, she's so pretty and it's been so long since I've had sex." Right? And then and so like I said, our conversation ended like 1 a.m. and then just at 1 a.m. his last message to me is, "Can I support you on tour?" And then 2 days later, Daniel, right? And I made that thing and I was like, "I'm going to end his life." And Facebook wouldn't let me post the photo. You can't comment with a photo if you're not friends with both people.
Oh.
So I sent it to Adam Rowe and he was like, "Mate, you've got no idea how I would have had to have deleted Facebook."
Yeah, it's gross. That's a horrible app that you can fake conversations.
It's so good. You could end lives with it.
Because I've done that before where I've changed the name of like the person I'm with. I've changed it to the person I'm doing it with.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you could get that.
The app's great for it.
Idea.
But so no, that does not belong in Muggle Corn. Aaron McCann. You in fact are a Muggle. Muggles get upset by that cracking banter. So off in the corner you go, you Northern Irish fuck. What's your second one?
Yeah, so I've got two very similar ones for the next one, so could be able to fly through these. Guilty as well. It's when you merge words, and obviously the fucking main one's Brexit at the minute. The British exit. Why don't people? What's the real term for that? Just the referendum, the leave referendum.
Well, yeah.
But fuck, man, Brexit, like, it's just so corny. Yet you've like put it, it's caught on, and like people are talking about a huge thing.
Like penal.
Penal's a good one. Fucking good one. Another one's brunch. Obviously, brunch is probably the most common one.
Oh, but I feel like brunch is an actual thing now.
But it's breakfast and lunch. It's brunch. It's caught on. There's manscaping. There's sheeple.
Sheeple.
Mocktails.
Mocktails.
Gonna have breakfast mocktails for brunch. Cucumberella.
Man, that is a fucking Kickstarter campaign if I've ever heard one, right?
The Cucumberella.
Cucumberella, I guarantee, because people donate to stupid shit, right? You can have a great idea, no one will finance it. But if you go, here's a dumb thing, like, they'll tell you, if you just picture, you've invented an umbrella, but the handle is a cucumber, and you call it, I guarantee you patent that, right. You go on Kickstarter, I guarantee you make 10
Well,
grand.
you know, you put a cucumber in your Hendrick's gin.
Yeah.
And you put an umbrella on cocktails.
Oh!
You put have your fucking cucumberella mocktails for brunch.
That's
have it with your frenemies.
Mate, we need to delete this podcast. We can't release this. This is actually genius. I'd drink gin. If you put a cucumbrella, and that's what it was called, like a thing in the cucumber, my Hendrick's gin,
Yeah.
I'll buy it for $1,000. I'm drunk on gin.
I'll sell you one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I do like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but I've always enjoyed combining swear words. I think we've spoken about
Fucktard.
Yeah.
That's what, isn't it?
Bass fucking tard.
Right.
I always think, yeah, for me, like, I think a lot of people get offended by the word fucktard because they assume that the tard part came from retard. And for me, fucktard was always just fuck combined with bastard.
Ah, right.
I never, yeah, because people,
As well, you know, do you know retard's been like totally misused? It just means like IQ less than.
Oh, I've got such a problem with people that get offended by the word retard, because for me words do change over history. They lose their fucking meanings. Doug Stanhope's got a great bit in his new special about this. Go watch that.
Like, imagine the word muggle become powerful. Yeah. But it meant something else. Like, muggle ended up like being twisted and turned by pop culture into meaning like people with special needs and additional needs, right? And then all of a sudden, this podcast from the 2016, we're saying muggle willy-nilly, and people just think we're horrific. Like, but it's just because the word's been morphed. And then people are going, it was a different time back then. Yeah. You're like, yeah, it's a different time. They're cunts.
Yeah, but we'll still be cunts in the future. I touched on that in my show last year, which is like, when my sister was born, the doctor said to my mother, your daughter is spastic. Right, because that's the dictionary definition term for what Josie had. There was nothing bad about the word spasticated.
I do that now would be so unprofessional.
Yeah, but it's only until a bunch of cunts heard the word spasticated, started calling people that weren't spastics, and then we all got uncomfortable. Like, cunts make words offensive. Words are not inherently offensive. And for me, the reason I don't use the word retard just because I don't want the fire back for it. But to me, as someone who had a sister with disability, when you say the word retard, I do not think of my sister, right? There's no association to me. Nah. To me, retard has always meant...
You think of Elliot Steele?
Yeah. It doesn't... And I understand to other people, like, it's different. Like, if you grew up, being called it, like, it's the same thing with the homophobic terms, like, man,
if I call one of my mates gay, right, that's because they're straight and I'm taking their identity for them.
Yeah, you're accusing...
I'm taking their identity. Like, I'm not offending them. I'm just saying, like, that's a straight man. If I call him gay, that's something he's not.
Yeah. But the reason that people do get upset about it, and what I understand is the fact that you didn't grow up where you were insulted for being gay when you weren't gay, right? So that's why you got offended. But if you are gay and you're growing up and people insult you for being gay, they're actually insulting who you are to your core. Yeah. They're saying what you are.
They're not taking your identity. They're stamping on your identity.
Yeah, they're stamping on your identity. So that's what. So when you use the word gay to insult someone who's not gay, and that's why, because I do try and like lessen how much it's inherently in my head from when I was a kid. We all did it, right? But it is something that I'm like, and I understand with retard it's the same. Like, if you grew up and you weren't as disabled as my sister, and people did call you Hmong or spastic or whatever. When you hear those words used casually by people you're like, you don't understand the weight. You don't understand how much those words crushed me when I was young, and it's such a difficult topic to discuss because
Because you've got to say the words to discuss it.
You've got to say the words.
And people are already buzzing like, buzzword. Buzzword.
Yeah. And let's stop being serious because none of us know what we're talking about.
You know what's funny with like this... words like, obviously if you say a bitch, that's gender specific.
Yeah.
You're talking about a girl, right? Because the female dog is a bitch, right? But you know the word bird isn't gender specific. So let's make that broad. I'm Natalie's bird.
Yeah, you're my bird.
Not?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I'm a bird.
Don't be for Steve O's.
Hey, my little magpie.
One for sorrow.
Was that you did that one? Yeah. Okay, let's quickly go through the last one.
Hold on, I can give you my last one in quick succession because it's very similar. Shortening words to totes ridic, totes a mosh.
Oh, totes agree.
Totes agree.
Yeah.
I think it's for props back.
I think it's soup's annoying.
I think just get in the muggle corner if you do that.
And my final one is just very simple. There is an exemption to this, but muggles go to other people's house to see their Christmas decorations, like their Christmas lights outside their house. If you're exempt, if you have children,
right? The children are
because to kids that's magical, right? To kids they're going to see this amazing house, but you're 40, you know Darren did that. Like it's just do it yourself. Your kids are like, oh my god, this is a magical. You could do that.
Yeah, this isn't magical to you. You've got your head around electricity and purchases.
Yeah, you've got a mortgage. You know how much that costs. You're just there tutting like, oh, someone's rolling in it.
So Natalie's got a Christmas tree up, which we're looking at right now.
Upper family.
Purple and gold baubles. It's very nice. And I come in yesterday, got changed and shit, and went back out to Matilda, and she was like, do you like the Christmas tree? I think, the Christmas tree? I didn't see a Christmas tree. It's there, look at it.
It's literally, it's a massive, it takes up, it's in the corner of the room.
You know what I did notice?
It's in the corner you have to stand in for not noticing it.
You know there was a shelf in that corner before there was a Christmas tree, and the shelf's now there next to you.
Yeah. Oh, so it is?
I saw that.
Oh, is that where that came from? Yeah. Oh dear, okay.
Fucking hell, you're as bad as me. So I saw that shelf, and went, oh, they've moved the shelf. It used to be in that corner. Didn't even acknowledge the Christmas tree.
Who's your friend?
Like, honestly, I might be special.
No, but that's the thing, like, but that's, if she ever complains about you being like, you didn't notice my new haircut, you could move house and I probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even guarantee that you're the same girl I started going out with 4 years ago.
I might be cheating.
I think I might have accidentally replaced you 5 times.
Right, so we'll go through those 3 muggle things. Well, only 5, because Aaron McCann's was not a muggle thing. If you are guilty of any of the following things, in the corner for 30 seconds. If you go on about how much you like cheese, you're fine to like cheese. Just don't make it who defines you, you fucking muggle. And if you go to other people's houses to see their Christmas decorations and lights without kids... And some of you are like, who does it without kids? Trust me, people do it without kids. You're a muggle here in the corner for 30
seconds. And if you're scripting conversations on Facebook, make it good or you're a fucking muggle. And I'll get totes of mush because it's ridiculous. And if you have fucking brunch mocktails, we are frenemies at Brexit. While you're manscaping.
I think I am in. Yeah, I'm in the corner for a minute for those two.
Them words is so corny.
I do
it's
all
so
the time.
Corny, but like when people stop seeing the corny side of it and stop using them with a sense of irony, the way we talked about cucumbrella, we're talking about it like being dickish. It's like it's a pun, but the minute you let it catch on and you start using it in your lexicon.
Yeah, it's like when people combine like couples' names, like it's Brangelina. Like, I mean, it'd be like me calling you Natalie, like Natagimp.
That was terrible. That's so bad.
I think we're gonna have to. We've only got time for your dad jokes. We can do the next game on Monday. Should we just go straight into your dad jokes? Because I do have to get to Soho, and sure. We've rambled on for loads. Your dad jokes. We're making kind, insult each other's dads for being our dads. I'll go first. Your dad stands on top of the yellow pages to kiss the milkman.
Your dad's catchphrase is, they don't call me hot lips for nothing.
They don't.
There's a reason for it.
He's got a point.
And you know his reason when he uses his catchphrase.
And that's before he kisses you, he just rubs them. Gets nice and warm.
Pulls a light on the other.
Your dad uses wall-mounted dildos with suction cups to keep his balance in the shower. And I'm not mean like handles. I mean like he puts one on the wall, just backs into it, and just
holds himself up
rectally.
Your dad's scared of monsters.
Who isn't? They're monsters. They're monsters.
They don't exist.
Oh, but if they did though,
your dad's scared of them anyway.
Right. Okay.
The thought of them. Checks under his bed. Just sees loads of his support dildos.
On your mum and dad's wedding anniversary, your dad got up early, boiled the kettle, made some toast, snuck back into your mum's bedroom and put the kettle on your mum's face and said, "We're out of bread."
Oh, gosh. Your dad filled a condom full of drugs and smuggled it on a flight up his nose.
Oh, maybe they weren't having sex when I walked in when I was 7. Maybe they were just on the rack all night.
They were fucking trying to get some drugs to Thailand.
Your dad naps at IKEA in the cupboard.
Not even in the bed. Your dad makes coffee in the pan.
Your dad had to wear a lampshade on his head after his vasectomy so he wouldn't lick the stitches.
Your dad's safe word is Daniel. And he uses it while he's wanking.
Your dad uses a Ouija board to sext your dead granddad.
Oh, cold-blooded. Your dad uses his glove box to keep gloves in. He puts his cloak in the cloak room, but he uses baby oil on his dick. I think this is proof enough that your dad's got a baby dick.
Nah, where do you think I got mine from?
Your mum. One thing to say about you, Daniel, is you got your mum's dick. You got your mum's dick in your dad's tits.
You've got your dad's finances.
Too real.
Your dad has never lost a ring up his own arsehole, but he has found 7.
Your dad's got a pay-as-you-go phone, so every week he buys one of them scratch card things, and then when he doesn't win, he doesn't buy himself a top-up card for his phone.
Your dad cried when the singing kettle broke up.
Your dad dials 100 and asks the operator to reverse charges when he calls Babe Station.
That's smart.
Did he used to reverse charges? Did he do that? I don't know if he can still do it. It's something I used to do, like, if I was, like, finished rugby as a kid, I'd, like, dial
phone and then they
dial 100 and that guy, like, reverse charges for, and then say my parents' number. And then you'd hear the operator talking to your mum, can we reverse charges? And you'd hear my mum just, go on then.
It's just your mum being like,
fuck's sake.
I don't have a son. He's like,
it's going to cost £1. Could have just took 10 pence.
Your dad leaves comments on Pornhub.
Do people actually do that?
Yeah.
Because there's a comment option, but I've never seen the comment.
Oh, I have.
I've seen there's a share option as well. Who's fucking putting that on Facebook? We'll even stay on.
Yeah. And no, it comments, it's just people being like, oh man, love this video. Oh man, wish that was me. Just sad, lonely men. Like your dad.
I shared a porn. I didn't share a porn. I told Matty about this porn star, like, who was fucking probably stunning, right? And I was just like, oh dude, I think I found my new favourite porn star. And I text Matty, and then when I went run, Matty hadn't checked it out yet, and he's like, oh, I'm going to check out this porn star. But like, there was stuff I'd been watching, there's just like some softcore stuff. It was more about how stunning she was.
Yeah.
The stuff she did.
It was just her like solo masturbating, classy stuff.
It was just like a proper stunner. Get off. It was good to watch. You know, right? So Matty was like, oh, I'll check this bit out, right? He types her name in the first video that come up, right? Man after man after man jizzed up her asshole, right? And then she shot it into a saucer and slurped the ass spunk out of the saucer. And Matty was just there going, she seems quality. She seems quality eyewash. I think I've got one more dad joke.
Yeah. No, you should have 2. One more, yeah.
One more. Your dad's currently on his hands and knees at Spearmint Rhino right now, this minute, on his hands and knees, looking for an earring that he lost last night.
Your dad had a dream. He was eating a giant marshmallow, but was devastated when he woke up and found out your mum hadn't left him.
I didn't get it. Is my mum the marshmallow?
No, it's just it was like a misdirection. He wants your mum to leave him every night. He's devastated. Doesn't matter.
So he eats marshmallows?
Well, no, like the classic joke is like, I had a dream I was eating a giant marshmallow, I woke up and the pillow was gone. So I wanted to make you believe I was gone.
I've never heard that joke.
Never heard that joke? So that's why. So the joke is I had a dream, I was eating a giant marshmallow, woke up, my pillow was gone. So I was doing that joke. Just trying to tell, so I thought you were going to assume, and I was like, But in his dream,
Did I one time I put some like reversed some jokes and put them on Facebook, but didn't realise like quite how stock they were. It's when someone goes, what you're doing chatting during a comedy gig. So the comedian will say to the punter, what you're doing talking during a comedy gig, you wouldn't go into a brothel and have a wank, right? So I started reverse engineering all of them, going, I was having a wank in the brothel, and then a comedy club just come around us and stuff like that. And I just like reverse engineered all of them jokes, but then just looked like I was being really passive aggressive about a heckler, and no one got it. It was in like 2010. I put like about 6 out in a row on Facebook, and just all of them bombed.
Are you excited for like?
I realised like everyone had to know what I was.
Are you excited for in a couple of months when Facebook is like, Kai, relive this status, and you're like, nah.
I might delete it.
We are not on tour, but we are gigging. This is going out on Thursday, which means the shows you can see I have left in Soho are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which I'm pretty sure are sold out. I think some left. There'll be promoter holds left, so you can get in on those. The gigs have been great so far. Thank you for coming. And then we're in Austria doing Altitude. It's still not too late to come.
I'm going to be in Barnsley on Friday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if there's anyone in Barnsley,
not even
much else to do.
Just want to hang out.
Yeah, just if you want to just go to Nando's. Yeah. Nando's and chill.
And
then I'm going to be in Hartlepool on the Saturday.
Hartlepool, where?
At the town hall.
Right. So you can come see us, but if you don't want to come see us live, we really do. We love the feedback for the podcast because it's what makes us keep doing it. I had a guy in Soho last night after the show, just came up afterwards, and he was like, cream, and I was like, amazing, like that's the funniest thing in the world. And then he was like, how's the show going? I loved it, I thought it was great, it's been a good run. I was like, yeah. And then you turned up and you should have seen the joy in his face. He's like, oh, Muggins is here too.
Oh yeah, you come up, you tell us he's been travelling and he'd been listening to the podcast while he's been travelling.
So we love the feedback, we love the suggestions, so keep it all coming.
Hey, there's something we've got to do as well. We've got to go. We're splitting up. The fucking is this it? We're going to break up, and you're going to go to LA, and I'm going to go to Australia in the middle of January. So we're going to need to get new kit and podcast equipment. There's like fucking couple of £100 worth of gear. Yeah. I'm going to put it to you guys. Fucking, if you want to buy my show, that'll put towards it. Yeah. So, like loads of podcasts have got like Patreon pages where people can donate and stuff like that. If I can sell like 10, 20 copies of my show over the next week off the back of this little plug here, then we'll have the podcast equipment.
That's a great show. So basically,
and you get a show out of it. I'm not just mugging 10 quid off you.
Yeah. So if for the next week you go on Kai's website and buy his show for £10,
buy it as a Christmas present for someone. It's a nice Secret Santa present, a good stocking filler. If you want me in your stockings,
we will then use.
I want to be in your stockings too.
We'll then use that money to buy a second recorder and 2 other mics. So that means 2 things. One, when we go on our separate radio tour, we can still... Kai's going to take over the Mondays, I'm going to take over the Thursdays. But what's more exciting when we do reunite in Australia is it means we will have 4 microphones. That means we can have guests on the podcast. And what that means is, unlike other podcasts, when they have guests on it, they're nice to their guests. We want to make sure that
all of the darkest, deepest stories come out.
Oh no, but we're just going to be horrible to it. We're horrible to each other on this podcast, and it's going to be the exact same fucking thing. Let's turn this into a fucking wolf pit.
A roast.
So thank you for that. Please,
you can buy my show on kaihumphries.com/shop.
But apart from that, you guys have been great.
Yes, you have.
A bit quiet this podcast, but you're all right. Thanks very much. Love you. Bye.